Hello, everyone. Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for The Boys Season 4, Episode 4. God, they really went to a lot of places in this episode. A lot happened. Now, last week we got three new episodes, or three episodes to kick off the season. If you haven't checked out a review for that, you can go see them on the channel, or just hit the link in the description of the video. So we're going to get into spoilers. Before that, though, this was a really good episode. Like a lot of stuff. If you wanted the story to move forward, a lot happened. If you want to see Anthony Starr get an Emmy nomination for his performance as Homelander, if this doesn't do it, I don't know what will. That's all I gotta say. Like if this doesn't get him an Emmy, there's a lot of all the Homelander scenes in this episode are shot in such. It's almost like a psychological thriller type of vibe. It's the Homelander bottle episode if you remember from what happened then. So yeah, this episode felt smaller in scope because everything is like happening almost in the same place, either with the boys at the office, at Annie's office, or in Homelander where he goes to visit this bot facility. So, all right, we're gonna get into spoilers. If you haven't seen the episode, come back and check it out. All right, so we begin with Homelander going to the secret bot facility. We saw a flashback of him, thinking about that red door last episode at the end. And boy, do things get awkward really fast because Homelander is a character that rules by fear, and people try to be act polite in front of him because they know that any little mess up, like that's it, they're done for. Meanwhile, we also catch up with Huey getting news of his dad. They're gonna pull out the feeding tube, and it looks like he's gonna pass if he's not responding to any treatment. He's legally, I guess he's been in a coma, so I guess they're legally ready to just let him pass. Um, we also see a little thing and I love the boys when they do stuff like this. We see in the news a little thing about the Godolkin 4 being on the run. Now, if you haven't watched Gen V, the first season, recommend you check it out so you can get caught up in that story. We also see Annie, aka Starlight, meeting with the president. They're talking about this bill, this anti soup legislation that's trying to be brought to the front. Now, we know that Victoria Neuman, the VP or VP elect, is definitely not working with the president elect. So, yeah, very, very interesting. There's a lot of machinations there. We catch in on a meeting with the Seven, sans Homelander, of course, where they talk about Firecracker's new TV show. And this is where Sister Sage is just making a lot more strategic moves that we'll see unfold throughout the episode. Meanwhile, Kimiko and Huey are attacked after meeting with A Train. Huey asks A Train to get him some V so he can save his dad after the news that he got earlier. So we'll see what that plays out. But yeah, those same people that attacked Kimiko earlier are the ones attacking now. So they go into kind of hiding. We also see that Butcher is trying to blackmail a Firecracker with some information that he received about something she did when she was younger. But it kind of backfires. It feels like, Sister Sage has probably got 5 steps on all of them at least. And instead, not only does Firecracker complain about her issues and how she has become a better person for moving forward, she now also reveals a story about Annie's first save and how it went wrong for some of the people that were involved. Um, and then, oh God, I'm trying to go in order of things how it happened, but the next thing that Firecracker reveals is wild. We do see A Train going to get some V from Homelander's apartment, and she finds Ashley there, who's there getting a little bit of revenge on Homelander by leaving a little upper decker or a floater in the toilet. We also learn why that girl hates Kimiko as they are trying to run for their lives. There's a really gnarly sequence where Kimiko gets blown up by like a grenade launcher and exploded in half, while Huey has to fend for his own life for a minute. But yeah, apparently Kimiko brought this girl to the fighting pits, and she is the reason that she's got all those scars that we saw earlier. So uh, we also see that Frenchie has been has gone to Firecracker's trailer to infiltrate, maybe get a little bit of dirt on her. But he's ambushed by Ezekiel, who is the superhero that's stretchy, but he's also kind of like a preacher. And they have a gnarly fight. And this is the moment of the episode where I was like, holy shit. Firecracker leaks Annie's medical records. And I mean, she reveals something super personal. I won't even get into it. Just go watch it. It's a freaking killer of a scene. And this is when Annie just snaps and she goes to attack her because, of course, they set up the show. They set up Firecracker's performance in a stage right across the street from where Annie has her shelter, right? And we see that Butcher comes in to help Frenchie, and as he's about to pass out because he's fighting a soup, obviously, something's moving around in there. Something's going on with Butcher. He blacks out and then wakes up a few minutes later, and Ezekiel has been torn to pieces. I wonder. We later find out that Butcher had taken some V to try to not die, from his brain tumors. And I wonder if this kind of did give him a superpower or something that he's not aware of yet, or maybe a parasite got it. I don't know. I'm thinking it might be some kind of like Hulk or Jekyll and Hyde type of situation, but we'll see. Uh, while all this is going on, Homelander has been torturing the shit out of everyone in that office that he's with. He makes a guy, walk into an oven that they would use to test how much heat Homelander could take. And he reveals that even though he is invulnerable, he does feel the pain from all that, which is interesting and also a good observation as to why Homelander is so messed up. He then lasers off a dude, and I'm just gonna say in half because he aims for the crotch. There's a whole sequence leading up to that. Man, the boys are really going for it this season. Um, but yeah, after that, there's a lot of recovery. So Frenchie tells Colin the truth about his family, which we found out last episode that he was the person that actually was hired to kill them. We also see the fallout from Starlight going in and just beating the ever loving crap out of Firecracker live on TV. So she's now been disavowed by the president. The bill that they were trying to introduce has been just fell apart. A Train gets Huey the V, but is then discovered by Butcher. This is the part where Butcher reveals that he took some V, and it only made things worse. And we close out with two scenes. The first one is Huey back at the hospital with his mom, who I don't even know if she's real or not. And then Huey refuses to give the V to his dad, but then he goes to get coffee and comes back, and that his dad has been given the V. Now, is this just Huey's mind giving him an out by maybe making it seem like his mom was the one that gave him the V? I don't know. I don't know what we're doing there because Butcher has visions, and he took some of that temp V, we know that Huey did as well. So it would make sense if he also had visions. And then lastly, we see Anthony Starr in just a masterful scene as he's leaving the bot facility. We check in on Barbara, who came in, who she was one of the big handlers at the time. And we discover that Homelander just torched everyone in that office. They're all dead. Barbara's been left in that room, the bad room, as Homelander calls it, locked in there with all those dead bodies. So obviously she's probably also going to die. And we see Anthony Starr in Homeland as Homelander, covered in blood. It was gnarly. It was wild. It's one of the best performances I've seen. Uh, yeah, super super crazy stuff as only the boys can do. So if you've seen this episode, let me know what did you think about everything that just happened. We are kind of halfway through the season because these seasons are only 8 episodes long, so things got to move very quickly. Yeah, and we do see one thing I didn't put on my notes because it's kind of a minor thing. Sister Sage hooks up with the Deep once again, but first he helps her with a frontal lobotomy. So yeah, it's a whole thing if you remember from last episode. So yeah, let me know what did you think of this episode. What do you think of the season so far? And as always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone.